Banani. Speaking of homes. Apparently, by going back to the past, we no longer have a place to stay. Papaya. That's true. Our future houses don't belong to us yet, and our parents' houses are occupied by our past doubles. Banani. Darn. I didn't think of that. This is serious. Ravioli. Oh well, maybe we can sleep at school, or at nasal. It's not the end of the world. Banani. You don't get it? Our doubles are here. Do you know what that means? Ravioli. We can give them tips about the future, like investing in Microsoft stocks. Banani. No, no, no. Absolutely not. We can't let our doubles see us. Do you know what could happen if we even accidentally touched them? Papaya. A time paradox. Banani. Reality as we know it could cease to exist, or worse, the universe could implode. Ravioli. Really? Igor. Or worse, Papaya could remember his own name. Now that's a real paradox. Banani. We have to find a place to sleep. Papaya. Let's go to one of our houses. It's safer. Ravioli. Wait, but our doubles are there. Isn't that dangerous? Banani. Exactly. We have to be careful. Direct contact with your own double can create a time paradox. Papaya. Then the rule is simple, avoid our doubles. Igor. No problem with me. As a kid I hated when anyone bumped me or tapped me on the shoulder. I wouldn't even shake hands. I was scared of germs. Banani. Good, then we'll go to Igor's place. Igor. At my parents' there's the garage. Nobody ever goes in during the week. We can hide there. They start walking. They arrive at a small suburban house. The lights are on. Ravioli. Is this your house, Igor? Igor. Yeah. From the living room, little Igor can be seen sitting on the carpet. He's playing with toy cars. Banani. Careful. We mustn't be noticed. Papaya. Then let's go around the back and straight to the garage. They move quietly. But Igor stops, then walks toward his double. Banani. What are you doing? Igor. Paradox? Who cares? With you, every day is a paradox. He takes a step forward. Papaya. Igor, no. Ravioli. Stop. Banani. If you touch him. Igor places his hand on his double's shoulder. A sudden flash. A deep hum shakes the windows. The room vibrates like an engine starting. The paradox is triggered. Silence. They all open their eyes. Papaya finds himself in his childhood bedroom, plastered with faded posters. A bunk bed, crooked shelves, the smell of worn notebooks. He looks at his hands, small, clumsy. Papaya. It's not a dream. I'm really back here. Ravioli wakes up in a tiny bed with cartoon bedsheets. On the nightstand, a box of snacks. He stares at them with teary eyes. Ravioli. I don't believe it, the tomato pizza of the 80s. Banani gets up in his childhood room. A desk cluttered with electronic parts and stripped wires. From the living room, the metallic buzz of an old TV. Banani. We've entered our child bodies. We're not doubles anymore. We've taken the place of the real us. Igor opens his eyes in a dark room. On the nightstand, a worn comic book, a lamp switched off. He slowly sits up. Igor. Fantastic. I hated my childhood, and now I'm back in it. With the adult consciousness upgrade. Schoolyard. Recess. The four gather near the iron fence. Ravioli. What happened to the doubles? Banani. They vanished, or fused with us. But the truth is different. Cut. Nasal Labs, 2025. A group of adults stumbles down the corridors. They are the doubles, the real kids, catapulted into the future, trapped in grown-up bodies. A technician gives them a strange look. They glance at their hands, arms, oversized lab coats. Ravioli's double. Uh-oh. What's this? Igor's double. Your belly. Looks like it grew faster than the rest. Banani's double. But where are we? Papaya's double. Looks like nasal. Remember last year at school, the field trip? A colleague with glasses and a stack of papers stops in front of them. Colleague. Professor Papaya, have you revised the trajectory calculations for the satellite? Papaya too. Nods quickly. Yes, of course. The colleague walks on, no suspicion. Banani too. Looks like we work here. Ravioli too. But I don't know anything about science. On the last test my desk mate was absent and I got an F. They keep walking. Their boss approaches, stern look. Boss. You four. Always wasting time in the halls. This is work, not after school. They glance at each other, panicked. They try to improvise excuses. Papaya too. I was just checking the calculations. Boss. What calculations? How many coffees you drink a day? Banani too. I was running an experiment. With the lab's alarm clock. Boss. The alarm clock, huh? Then fix it, because today you're sleepwalking worse than usual. Ravioli too. I was studying the cafeteria. Nutritional quality. Boss. Obviously. What else would we expect from you? Igor too. And I was supervising how little everyone else supervises. The boss narrows his eyes, then shakes his head. Boss. Always the same nonsense. Back to work. They breathe a sigh of relief. Ravioli too. See. Looks like the people who know us can't tell the difference. Banani too. It's like, we landed in our own future. Papaya too. But why doesn't anyone notice? Aren't we supposed to be real scientists? Igor too. Something tells me that's the point. We've got nothing to worry about. We're good enough for the roles. Our future selves, the only thing that grew was the body. 1982. The four originals, still with adult minds in children's bodies, are meeting in Banani's garage. The kids, with serious faces, gather in front of a blackboard. Banani has already filled half the space with arrows, circles, and numbers that make no sense. Banani. See. No fusion. No absorbance. Papaya. And what makes you say that? Banani. According to my calculations, the law of conservation of matter is clear. If we're here, they must be elsewhere. Papaya. Yes, sure. But where? Ravioli. Wait, then where did our little selves end up? Igor. Arms crossed, dry. Where do you think? In 2025. Doing the same nonsense you do, just with more tools. Banani. Exactly. When Igor touched his double, a space-time breach opened. To balance it, our doubles were sent to our places. With adult bodies. Ravioli. Eyes wide. So you mean we're here, with adult minds in child bodies, and they're there, with adult bodies and child minds? Igor. I'd say the only relevant difference is the body. Especially Ravioli's belly. As for the mind, it's basically the same. You don't know anything here either. Pause. The others stare, appalled. Banani taps the chalk on the board, smug as if he's proven a theorem. Banani. Conclusion, Bilateral temporal inversion. We're in the past. They're in the future. Papaya. Sighs. And no one will ever notice the difference. Papaya thinks for a moment. Papaya. Yes, but this concerns the future. Is there a way to test your theory? Banani. Without looking at it? Can you describe your credit card? Papaya. Well, yes. It's solid red, numbers stamped at the bottom. Banani. Do you remember the issue date? Papaya. Yes. January 2023. Banani. Take it out. Papaya pulls it from his pocket. Looks at it. Turns pale. Now something new, a photo of him and his wife Clara, printed in the background as decoration. Papaya. What? That's impossible. Banani. Apparently, your double prefers personalized cards. Papaya. Then, my double really is in the future. Banani. Read the date. Papaya. February. It says February. 1 month later. Banani. Perfect. Clear empirical proof. Inversion confirmed. Meanwhile, 2025. The doubles, after only a couple of weeks, are already getting used to their new lives. The four are in the coffee room. Banani 2. Guys, isn't it amazing we can do whatever we want? I already spent the whole night in the garage doing experiments. Ravioli 2. I don't know how we got here, but one thing's sure, now I can eat all the sweets I want. Last night I had candy for dinner. Papaya 2. For me, nothing's changed. I still have to solve my relatives' problems. Igor 2. Turns out the Igor here is a stand-up comic in disguise, writing jokes about you. Well, about the you here. Ravioli 2. But I miss my mom. Banani 2 suddenly bursts into tears. Banani 2. My dog Flaffy is dead here. Igor 2 starts crying too. Igor 2. I want my mom and dad. Papaya 2. Why don't you go visit them? The others stop crying. Suddenly they brighten up. Banani 2. That's right. We can visit them. Meanwhile, their co-workers are staring, worried. Colleague 1. What are they doing? Colleague 2. Crying. Colleague 3. Maybe something happened. Colleague 1. Go ask. Colleague 2. No. It's their business. Their boss approaches the four doubles. Boss. Papaya, what's going on? Why were Banani, Ravioli, and Igor crying? Papaya 2. Nothing, it was Ravioli's onion experiment. Boss. Onions. The boss sniffs the air. Boss. But there's no onion smell here. Papaya 2. That was the experiment. Banani's eyes absorbed every particle. Boss. What kind of experiments are you doing? The co-workers keep watching them with curiosity, embarrassment, and worry. But the boss reassures them. Boss. Show's over. Just their usual nonsense. Back to work. The group of colleagues obeys, muttering to each other. Boss. To Papaya. And you, take a vacation. The four leap with joy. Banani 2. Hooray. We can spend the holidays with our parents. Boss. To himself. I've seen stressed people before. But on them, stress really has a nasty effect. Igor 2. In fact, no one here notices we're children, probably because our adult versions were just as childish as us. Meanwhile, in 1982. It's afternoon. In Banani's garage, the Commodore 64 is on. On the screen, a simple game runs, with chunky pixels. Banani and two friends sit in front of the TV. Friend 1. Haha. I got the mushroom. Now I can jump higher. Friend 2. And I run faster. Look, look. Banani raises an eyebrow. Okay, and now? Friend 1. Now, we jump some more. Friend 2. And then you grab the little coin. Banani skeptical, to himself. So the whole afternoon jumping around for square pixels. And I remembered this as epic. The friends laugh and yell every time they die. Friend 1. Oh no. He fell in the hole. Come on, let's try again. Friend 2. Yeah, 10 more rounds. Banani sets the joystick down, looking disheartened. Banani. To the audience, like an adult thought. This is my glorious childhood. Jumps and coins. Forget nostalgia, it's a pixel prison. From the kitchen, his mother's voice. Banani's mother. Banani. Done playing? Hurry up and tidy the garage. Banani sighs. Banani. Here it is, the real final boss. His friends stare at him, confused, then go back to laughing over yet another coin. Meanwhile, at the neighborhood supermarket, Ravioli comes out with his pockets stuffed with chocolate snacks. Candy bars, pastries, cookies. He's spent his entire allowance. Ravioli. Excited, talking to himself. Ah, what a wonder. Coming back here, buying the same things. It's true, childhood times really were the best. He skips along, swinging the bag full of junk food. At home, he opens the door and finds his mother in the kitchen. Mom. Arms crossed. Ravioli. What did you buy with your allowance? Ravioli freezes, tries an innocent smile. Ravioli. Just a couple of little things. His mother snatches the bag and empties it on the table. Chocolate everywhere. Mom. Ravioli, no. You spent it all on sweets again. Didn't we say the stuff is bad for you? Ravioli. Yes, Mom. Mom. Then we'll confiscate these. For your own good. Ravioli reaches out desperately. Ravioli. No. They were the best part of childhood. His mother sets a steaming plate of boiled fish and broccoli in front of him. Mom. And now the healthiest part. Eat. Ravioli stares at the plate in horror. Ravioli. To himself. Now that I really think about it, childhood times weren't that great after all. In the past, everyone is forced to relive their childhood, discovering they'll have to repeat all the boring experiences, doing homework, following their parents' rules, and so on. In the future, the kids will end up causing worse trouble than their doubles did at Nasal. Meanwhile, in 1982, it's the afternoon. Ravioli is about to leave school. The bell rings, and the children pour out in celebration. Ravioli gets up, ready to run off, but the teacher stops him. Teacher. Ravioli. You're staying for after school. Ravioli. To himself, shocked. After school. I don't remember this. Teacher. Yes, Ravioli. Why don't you come up with a better excuse? You've been staying for after school every day since the year started. Ravioli sits down, resigned. They seat him in a dull classroom, no cafeteria. On the dusty desk, a plate of boiled fish and broccoli. Ravioli looks around, disgusted, suddenly remembering the sad reality. Ravioli. Gross school, not even a real cafeteria. Just dirty desks and chewing gum stuck underneath. The teacher eyes him sternly. After a while, the other children finish eating and leave the classroom to play in the hallway. Ravioli makes a move to get up, but his plate is still full. Teacher. Where do you think you're going, Ravioli? Don't get up until you've finished everything. Ravioli stares at the plate, desperate. Only 2 classmates remain at their desks, reluctantly swallowing the soggy bites. Ravioli takes a piece of fish with his plastic fork. He brings it close, but the foul mush makes him gag. He almost vomits. He immediately puts down the fork. He'll never eat that crap. He lifts his head from the plate and notices the teacher is distracted, chatting with colleagues in the hallway. Now's his chance to get rid of the fish. But how? He could toss it into the trash can in the corner. He wraps the fish in a paper napkin. Picks it up. Raises his arms like he's shooting a basketball. But it's at least 3 meters. Too risky. He might miss. The teacher could notice. He puts the fish back. Thinks. Then remembers an old trick. He checks the teacher still distracted. Yes. He nudges his open backpack with his foot. Without being seen, he drops the fish inside. Mission accomplished. But, wait a second. He can't call the teacher yet. The plate is empty. The teacher would notice. Maybe. Because the bone is missing. No one eats the bone. The fish looks clean. He glances around furtively. On the neighboring desk, he sees what he needs, a clean bone from his desk mate. He could swap plates. But he has to act fast. Before the janitor passes. He executes the plan. It works. He calls the teacher. Shows the plate. He's free. But the teacher calls him back. He freezes. She turns. Teacher. Wait. Give me your diary, I'll write you a note praising you for eating the fish. Ravioli sighs, already forgetting. Relief. The backpack still has the fish. He pulls out the diary, and along with it the napkin. The wrapped fish falls to the floor, right in front of everyone. Silence. Disgusted looks. Laughter. Outside the school, 3 bullies surround him. Bullies. Hey, broccoli boy. Trying to get clever with the fish? They shove and beat him. Ravioli ends up on the ground, clothes dirty. As he gets up, Igor waits on the other side of the gate, arms crossed. Igor. Congrats, Ravioli. You managed to lose twice, with the fish and with the bullies. Actually, 4 times, if we count the time paradox. Not counting the time paradox. Ravioli slowly gets up. Ravioli. I never thought nostalgia could hurt this much. Dash. Meanwhile, one afternoon at Banani's house. Banani is home alone. His father comes back from work with a surprise, a quail. Banani sees the cage and is immediately thrilled. He thinks his father brought a new pet. In reality, his father bought the quail to eat it. But he doesn't have the courage to tell little Banani. Banani grows attached to the quail. He names it Rick the chic quail. The absurd thing is that the quail is ordinary, nothing chic about it. The next afternoon, Banani finds the cage empty. His mother tells him the quail mysteriously escaped. In reality, at lunch that day, she serves him a rather unusual chicken dish. Banani eats, but once he leaves the table, he realizes the truth, he has eaten his quail. Dash. Meanwhile, in the afternoon at Banani's house, he's in his room. From the hallway, he hears his father's footsteps. The front door opens quietly. Father enters, trying not to be noticed, carrying the cage covered by an old newspaper. He tiptoes, but the quail chirps, giving him away. Banani. Peeking from the door. Dad. What are you hiding there? Father. Pretending naturally. Me. Nothing, just, recycled paper. The quail flaps under the newspaper. Banani. I heard a chirp. Father. Pacing, sweating. No, that must have been, the radiator. The newspaper slips, revealing the cage. Banani's eyes widen. Banani. An animal. For me. Father. Stuck, sighs. Yes, let's say yes. A surprise. Banani runs and lifts the newspaper. Inside, the quail looks at him, confused. Banani. What kind of bird is it? Father. A quail. Banani. Then it'll be Rick, the chic quail. Father. Whispering, looking at the quail. Chic, sure. Very chic. Dash. The next day. Banani runs to the balcony where he kept the cage. But the cage is empty. Banani. Mom. Where's Rick the chic quail? Mom. Calmly, drying her hands on her apron. He escaped. You know, quails are clever. Banani. Shocked. Impossible. I locked the door. Mom. He must have been very chic to escape. Banani. I'll go find him right now. Mom. Forced smile. No, first lunch. Then you look. Banani. What's for lunch? Mom. Chicken. She serves him the plate. Tender meat, a bit different from usual chicken. Banani eats without thinking, swallowing everything. Banani. Mouth full. Delicious. Mom. Eat. After lunch, he jumps up suddenly. Banani. Now I'll go find him. He runs out to the garden without another word. Banani. Rick. Rick the chic quail. Where are you? He peers over the gate. Looks under the hedge. Even enters the neighbor's yard. Nothing. Then he returns home. He enters quietly, hoping the quail return to the cage on its own. But the cage is still empty. Banani stands still for a moment, undecided, then hears his parents' voices from the kitchen. He tiptoes closer. Mom. Sharp tone. You shouldn't have. You know he got attached. Dad. Bitter chuckle. Come on, it's a quail. That's how it works, you raise animals, then you eat them. Mom. Yes, but for him it wasn't a quail. It was Rick the chic quail. Banani's eyes widen. Breath catches. He looks at the plate still on the table, a smear of sauce. Then the empty cage. Everything becomes clear. Banani. Broken voice. I ate my quail. Rick the chic quail. Banani stands frozen, realizing what has happened. Banani. Nostalgic memories seemed sweet, but reality is a bitter plate that tastes like quail.